Shalom, shalom, shalom. For this is the brother Trife Israel coming at you again with another lecture in sincerity and in truth, man. So I want to touch back up on our brother, you know what I'm saying, man, that a lot of us believe that he was an angel sent from the most high, just as like a signal, a warning, you know what I'm saying, man, to let them know that it's gonna go down and everything that I be talking about and that's predicted in the scriptures and these visions and stuff that I be having and other brothers that be having them particular type of visions and stuff too, it's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? This is proof and evidence right here. You know what I'm saying, man? And, it's so many accounts, okay, even in the Bible when it comes to John, Paul, you know what I'm saying, the Messiah, Christ himself, you know what I'm saying, man, so many accounts where people was put down and risen back up again. You know what I'm saying? Put to death and then risen back up. You know, so yeah, man, that's why this story right here is it's just really a backup because when you go into the history about this dude, Simeon Toko, he came from the poorest part of the Congos and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But he had Jesus like abilities, you know what I'm saying? Who but we know him as Yahweh Shai, our big brother, you know what I'm saying? But we're just gonna stick with the scriptures, what the scripture says. You know what I'm saying? We he had Jesus like abilities, you know what I'm saying? But in this story right here, the third secret of Fatima is when basically they basically took him to the lab and stuff like that. You can read about it. Okay, I read about it, but they're gonna actually talk about it right here on this video. So we're gonna jump into this. But yeah, man. So they basically took him to the lab and basically was trying to figure out where his source of power come from and stuff like that. So they end up taking out his heart and all that type of stuff. But the crazy thing about it was he rose up while his heart was out his chest, ripped while he was ripped open and all that, body still ripped open and everything. So you just got to think about it from they don't put that in the scriptures, but I mean don't put that in the document. I mean, but you just got to just think about it. If his heart was out, that mean that his body was his still ripped open and all that type of stuff. But he rose up and he told them to he asked them, "Why do you persecute me like this? Okay, give me back my heart." So this is a deep story, man. He got I'm talking about many accounts where they tried to kill this man, sawed his body up into many pieces and put him inside this disintegrator and shit like this and that, and then put his body into four and scattered them out through all four corners of the earth, far away from each other. But he ended up still regenerating himself back into their office and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, before he left, he gave them what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Y'all don't want me to be here." He said, "Okay, fine. Okay, I'll give y'all what y'all want, but be warned. Keep in mind that in the near future, many others like him will come, and when they do, you're not gonna be able to stop them." You know what I'm saying? Man? So we got to just think about this, and that's just that was just when I first encountered that video. It had me thinking for the last 2 years now. Like I really feel like what if the 144,000 is really like what they just really angels that came down here to serve this time in this flesh until they go back into the angelic form to be in the angelic form in the flesh. You know what I'm saying, man? Because we're going to be doing the same things that he was doing in the flesh. Where the 144,000 going to be doing the same things that he was doing in what they who they call Christ. Paul too. Paul spoke about he was doing miracles and stuff like that. Moses, you know what I'm saying, man, doing miracles and stuff. The children of Israel was always known for performing miracles. You know what I'm saying, man? So let's just watch this.
So very when you are in absolute service to God, God will keep his hand over you. When you've taken a covenant, you're in absolute service, and literally miracles can happen. And the Cabal doesn't like miracles. They'll try to kill, like when Christ raised Lazarus after 4 days, called Lazarus come out, he came out after 4 days dead. They kept trying to kill Lazarus. That's how the cabal works. So they kept trying to kill Simeon Toko as well. And even took his heart out, and he said, give me my heart back. They caused farm machinery to tear him apart. His body came back together. I mean, this is literally how God works. Miracles work. And the cabal doesn't like for that to be proved that God exists, that miracles, God does miracles, because that proves God exists, and they don't want that to be known. So they were after him his whole life, and he lived a full, long life, just like Lazarus. They were after him. This is the nature of the cabal. They don't change how they function throughout all of time. They have the playbook, and they go by the playbook, and they never stop coming. They don't have a reverse gear like Alex that covers Ukraine that I love following, the Duran. He said, they don't have a reverse gear. They have first, second, third, fourth, and I'll go on to they have then four-wheel drive. Then they have four-wheel drive with tank treads. They're just going to drive over you. They never stop coming. And throughout Simeon's life, they never stopped coming. But he did amazing, wonderful things for all of the peoples of Africa.
See, and that's the thing, man, that we have to understand. That's why the Bible tells us that what's that in the book of Isaiah? Chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even the man than golden wedge of Ophir. See, that's the thing. You gotta worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be prepared for that, because they're gonna come after you. Just like they came after Christ. They came after Simeon and Toko. They came after Lazarus. You know what I'm saying, man? Because these people, like he said, they don't want you to know that God exists. Okay, they don't want the world to know that God exists. So they try to stop this, but he already told them they're not going to be able to stop us. That's where the Most High put the strength in numbers. That's why it's going to be 144,000 Christ-like Negroes, okay, out here, okay? So let's continue on with this.
He was truly a true servant of God, and a true man, a true Christian, and a true man in the sense of the word, that he was selfless. He loved God's creation. He loved God, and he loved serving the people. There is only one God, and how that God can work for you in service to all of creation and help you manifest through creation. We have the ability to change creation and rebuild buildings and all these things, but everything's given to us by God. And then our abilities, all of us, as Christ said, have massive abilities. You can do way more than he did, but we have to be in service to God and focus. And through that focus, he gives us to be caretakers for this planet, and as we move out further out. And so through that, we can change reality, do the things, but it's through the power of God that moves through us in service to God. Of course, there is witchcraft and that stuff, but that's still God's energy just twisted. And then for that, what you plant, you reap. So if you're planting things like Simon did of beauty and service to others and kindness, you get a life of that moving out from you, a wave of miracles and wonderful things. And then if you use witchcraft, then you get a world that is like what we've witnessed up to now, with a lot of things that are not quite good. So, yeah, thank you for sharing about him. It's just what an amazing man.
What they're doing is very necessary to protect us. So the story goes that in the 1960s, there was a black man in Africa who came in with abilities complementary to those of Jesus. And he was performing miracles. He was starting to get people to listen to what he had to say. And the cabal tried to kill him, and they could shoot him in the head, and they bring him on this flight. And instead of and actually had some kind of meat grinder device, and basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets dock with the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will